Welcome to the channel. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Join me on today's video where I'll be unboxing 3 brand new Pagani Design watches. Now, just for your information, these watches were sent in to me for free by the Pagani Design AliExpress store. So if you are interested in any of these at the end of the unboxing video, then please use the link within the description. However, if you want to wait till the full review, then please do so, as that's where I'll give my full insights into these watches. So in the unboxing, I'm just going to cover the specifications, go through dimensions, and any other bits of information that I feel are relevant, including the price. Which watches do I have? Let's start off with the right, and you got the normal boxes, and it's worth noting at this point that all 3 watches are available with as Pagani Design call it, the new box, which is I think the oversized massive bulky thing, which is going to cost you extra 10 or 20 pounds, so you don't actually need to get that box. These are more than adequate. So the first one is a Pagani Design YN009. Now this one definitely caught my eye due to that unusual shape. So I'm actually really looking forward to unboxing this one. The next one up in the center, we do have a Pagani Design PD1734. So this is what they call the GS Homage. And the last one to the far left, this is the one I'll be waiting for. This is Pagani Design's version of the Doxa, and this is named the PD1719. Now, I've got to say, I do have a love-hate relationship with Pagani Design, as I feel most other reviewers do. They bring out a watch, incredible value for money, but things like bezels and lume, they haven't really improved them. So it kind of leaves me a bit disheartened, and then don't want to look at Pagani Design for a fair few months. However, this time around, they've got a bunch of new models, which, I gotta say, I'm a fan of the Doxa Homages, so it's definitely worth getting one of these because I can compare this against the Seaston version that I have. And to the far right, I'm really intrigued by this design. I've never really had a rectangular watch, and this is a bit of a B&R dive watch homage. And this is one of the reasons I asked for them to send me this. So let's go ahead, let's unbox the center one first and foremost. So the first one I'm going to be unboxing for you is a PD1734. Now, as I said, Pagani Design claimed this is the GS Homage, and it does come in 3 different colors. You've got a black, which I have in hand, you've got a gray and a blue. Now, what's interesting to note that the dial is actually textured. Now, while black is a pretty safe choice, I think if you want to see the texture, it is definitely worth going for a much lighter color. But just under the light, you can see that pattern, and it looks like just bit of chipboard basically, and a very interesting pattern, no doubt. There's a bit of texture in there as well, so that is something different for Pagani Design, and I can appreciate that. Now, this is priced quite reasonably at around £83.70. I'll put up the conversions on screen. Now, in terms of specifications, as you can see, it does have a full stainless steel case construction, including the bracelet. The watch does have 100 meters of water resistance with a screw down crown and a screw down case back. You've got a box style sapphire crystal, and you've also got the Seiko VH31 hybrid quartz movement. You can see that second hand ticking away at 4 ticks a second. So it's nice to see a few quartz watches coming out. I know Pagani Design did a previous model, which was a bit of a vintage style quartz watch, and that was quite popular. So let's see how they fare with this one. So let's cover some dimensions for you guys. Now, Pagani Design on the website state this is 40 millimeters in diameter. However, when we look at the diameter on the calipers, it is around 38 millimeters. So I don't know why Pagani Design would make a mistake on there, but as we know, with items from China, AliExpress, they do have a few discrepancies. However, I much prefer that this is 38 millimeters, a much more wearable size. The lug to lug is a nice compact 45 millimeters. You've got an overall thickness of 13.5 millimeters. Now that is increased down to that box style sapphire crystal. Had they gone for a dome sapphire crystal or a flat one, that would have been quite a bit thinner. Crown size, as worth checking, is about 5.3, so quite small. And as I said, you got screw down crown and screw down case back. The overall weight of this watch is 127 grams. The bracelet itself is 20 millimeters at the lugs. You've got female end links. You've also got screw-in links, 3 micro just clasp, milled of course, and the bracelet does taper down to 16 millimeters, so quite a decent taper. And as you can see, there's a fair bit of length on that bracelet. Now, one thing to note, this is the version 2. That's because Pagani Design version 1 of this particular model had a very silly spelling mistake where it states water resistant, it actually stated water resistant. So I mean, I don't know why suppliers, once they find a fault like that, they continue building the dials. If it was me, I'd just scrap the lot and not send out watches with silly mistakes like that. But yeah, so this is the first one that I've unboxed, the 1734. Of course, stay tuned, subscribe if you haven't done so already to see the full review on this watch. The next one we're looking at is the PD 1719 or the Doxa Homage. So bear with me while I unwrap this. Let's give you a quick run through of the specifications. So you've got a domed box style sapphire crystal, full 316L stainless steel case construction. You've got a 120 click unidirectional bezel with a steel bezel insert. Itching to try the bezel. I wanted to say before the review, but let me go ahead and check that bezel out. Yeah, so quite a smooth rotation, and it seems to line up so far. Let's check the play. Yeah, there's a fair bit of play in that actual bezel. You can see it does move around quite a bit from either angle, even side to side. Quite a bit of play, but in terms of movement, it's probably the best bezel I've had from Pagani Design. Full 120 click, and there's no back play. However, as I showed you guys, a lot of play all around the actual bezel. So the watch has also a screw down crown, screw down case back, and a alleged 300 meters of water resistance. So that's something new for Pagani Design. Now, an interesting thing about this watch, it does have the Seiko NH38 movement, which is a dateless movement, and also you don't have a ghost position, so it's not like a modified NH35. So I'm actually kind of surprised Pagani went to that length. And I'm actually impressed that they went with the NH38 movement. It's slightly more expensive than the NH35s, just due to they don't get used as much. But having said that, if Pagani Design order thousands of those, it shouldn't be that expensive. And talking about price, this watch is going to set you back at around £116, and again, I'll put conversions on screen, so that's not a bad price. Give it a quick once over. Yeah, it's pretty solid in hand. Now let's give you an overview of the actual dimensions. So the case diameter is, let's have a look, coming in at around 43 millimeters. Lug to lug is going to be 45 millimeters, so quite compact. But it's worth mentioning that the bracelet end links are not female. They're sloped, so it shouldn't have too much of an impact, but it does bring the overall lug to lug to around 52.5 millimeters. The depth, let's have a quick look there. You're looking at 13.5 mil, which is quite good. Crown size is 6.8, so quite thick, and give you plenty of grip on that. And the bezel size is 38.7. The bracelet itself is 20 millimeters at the lug width, does taper down to 18 millimeters, or just under, should I say, milled clasp, and the overall weight of this is 175 grams. In terms of other color options, you do have a blue and a teal, as well as the orange that I have in my hand. However, I feel, are they a bit too late to the game? Because we've got Tactical Frog version 75, and we've got Sea Stern version, I think, 2 or 3. And out of the comparison that I did, you've got, I think Sea Stern definitely took that. So it'll definitely be interesting to match this up against the Sea Stern once I do my initial review of this Pagani Design. There's a few things, don't get me wrong, that I like looking at it straight away, which I think are probably better than the Sea Stern. But in terms of the QC side, the bezel I mentioned, it's got quite a way to go. So definitely interested in doing the full review. And as I said earlier, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button, as you'll definitely want to see this review. So now to the last one to unbox it, and I think I've saved the most interesting watch till last. I wasn't really sure about getting this one in for review. Being as it is free, there's no harm in it. But let's just peel off some of these stickers. But yeah, it's a very interesting watch, very interesting design. I love the ruggedness of it, how robust it looks. And I think it's a B&R homage. However, I'm not too sure if I've seen a watch case like this. So if you guys in the comment section know what this is directly homaging, please let me know. If not, then maybe Pagani Design is slightly branching out with the designs. So in terms of price, this is going to set you back at £108, which is I was kind of surprised with. In comparison to the other two watches that I've unboxed, this isn't that expensive in all honesty. Seiko NH35 powering this watch. You've got a flat sapphire crystal. You've also got a ceramic bezel insert, a 120 click unidirectional bezel. Go on then, I'll give it a turn. shut the actual front door. That is a perfect bezel. So, you know, it lines up perfectly. There's no back play, there's no lateral play. The clicks are precise. You know, what have they done with this one? Just let's have that again. It sounds good as well. Quite a tactile feel. Is this Pagani's best bezel? I mean, in fact, is this Pagani's best watch? You know, something that I've got to look into when I review it. So I'm really glad that the bezel rotation is bang on. You know, just perfect basically. So the rest of the specs are pretty standard. You've got 200 meters of water resistance, and you got a screw down crown, a screw down case back, and of course it comes with this rubber strap, which I kind of like. It does go well with the tone of the watch. I think it suits it. But I have to say, I find this case extremely interesting. And in terms of color options, you can see you've got this partially skeletonized dial with some camouflage in the back. You've got this blue one. You've also got a black, red, and green. But they all have the same accent. So they've got the gold outlined hour markers, gold outlined hands, and that yellowy gold bezel insert. So, you know, not too sure about the color matching, but it seems to go well so far. So in terms of dimensions, you expect this watch to be quite big and bulky, but I can confirm the case diameter, and it's kind of awkward to measure. So I've got to measure from the tip of that crown guard to like the side of the case, I suppose. And you're looking at 45 millimeters. Lug to lug is very compact, just under 40 millimeters. Thickness is 13 millimeters, so an average thickness on that side. Crown 6.3 mil, and the bezel size is 40.5 millimeters. The strap itself is 22 millimeters wide. It tapers down to 18 mil towards the bottom, and the overall weight of the watch is 120 grams. Now, there's one thing which I don't think I mentioned, but I'll mention it now. So they say this is titanium, but it's the heaviest titanium I've seen. And I don't know why they say that, because at 120 grams, you got to remember the strap does not weigh a lot. There's a lot of weight in the watch case. So I'm wondering if it's, I don't know, a different kind of titanium, or is it just this sort of matte effect sandblasted steel case. And even so, the bezel does not feel like it's titanium. Titanium doesn't really have a very nice bezel sound. It does sound quite tinny and hollow, and this one is actually quite good. So yeah, so I'm actually most impressed with this one in hand. As I said, it's quite an unusual design, but I am liking what they have done so far. So this is probably going to be the one that I'm looking forward to most in terms of when I do the full review on this. So that's it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed that unboxing. Stick around for the full reviews, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching.